My name is Vinisha Jain, and I am a student of Institute of Law, Nirma University, currently interning with the Amikus Qriae organization. In this session, I shall be dealing with the concept of rights issue and the recent developments made in this topic. Beginning with the introduction of the same, rights issue of securities refers to the issue of securities to existing shareholders in a predetermined ratio. A letter of offer has to be made for such rights issue to the existing shareholders, which notifies the details of the shares which are being offered to them. The record date with respect to a rights issue refers to the date on which eligible shareholders for rights entitlement are announced. The same is important to be noted for the present session as it will again be dealt with in the later slides. Moving on to the next slide for the same, the legal position with respect to rights issue is that the Chapter 3 of SEBI Issue of Capital and Disclosure Requirements Regulations 2018 lays down the provision with respect to rights issue. And moving further to the next slide, Regulation 42.2 of the SEBI Listing Obligation and Disclosure Requirements Regulations 2015 requires the listed entity making the issue to notify the record date for such a rights issue to all the stock exchanges for the purposes of it. Proceeding further to the recent developments in this topic, it must be noted that recently in January 2020, a circular has been issued by SEBI wherein the process of rights issue has been streamlined. The first amendment has been made to Regulation 42.2 of the SEBI Listing Obligations and Disclosure Requirements 2015, wherein a listed entity is now required to notify the stock exchanges within 3 working days instead of the prior 7 working days regarding a rights issue. Furthermore, moving on to the next slide, newspaper advertisements have to be issued under Regulation 84.1 of the SEBI Issue of Capital and Disclosure Requirements Regulations 2018, and the same has to be done 2 days prior to the opening of the issue. This advertisement is required to disclose the date of completion of dispatch and also of the intimation to stock exchanges regarding the rights issue. Proceeding further to note more developments in recent times, it must be noted that dematerialized entitlements have also been introduced. These dematerialized rights entitlements, by lieu of the said amendments, are credited in the demat account of shareholders. The process of such credit and the renunciation of rights with regarding to the same have to be now disclosed in the letter of offer that has been made to the shareholders regarding rights issue. Furthermore, the transfer hereinafter cannot be done in physical form but only in demat form. The existing physical shareholders have to provide their demat account details for the process, and under no circumstances any rights issue shall occur in the physical form. Having dealt with this, we move on to the next slide. It must be noted that rights entitlements are tradable in secondary market with a rolling settlement of T+2 days, and this trading begins with the opening of rights issues, but it closes 4 days prior to the closing date of rights issue. Furthermore, shareholders cannot withdraw an application once it has been made for a rights issue subscription, and this withdrawal cannot be made after the closing date. Furthermore, moving on to the next slide, under the said amendment, it has been provided that the payment for subscription to a rights issue can only be made through ASBA, which is application supported by blocked amount facility and is permissible in no other mode. With the same, all the important amendments to the rights issue process that have been made this year have been covered, and this same shall be successful in streamlining the process of rights issue in India. Thank you.